So you wanted to make this Minecraft logo? Not only that, but also turn it into an animation to stand out from the rest? Well, today I'm going to show you how it's done. Let's get started. So hey, it's Angelo. So before we get to the 3D stuff, we'll actually need to open Photoshop first. We'll be starting here to create the textures for the logo. I've actually prepared all the files you'll need down in the description, so you don't have to do this from scratch. Okay, so the first step will be opening this first layer called Replace Me. You can do that by just double clicking it in here. After that, you'll see an already made Minecraft text. You'll actually need to hide this and show the Minecraft font layer and edit it. You can do this by double clicking the layer or by using the text tool and clicking in the middle. For this tutorial, I typed the word animated as an example, but if you want the letter A to have the creeper logo, just undo and copy the letter A from the word Minecraft and paste it onto wherever you want. For this, I wanted to have the second A to have the creeper logo. Now, we actually want this to be in a grid. I'll show you later, but for now, just duplicate it by using Ctrl J, hide the original layer, right click the layer, and hit rasterize. So after that, show the layer called grid guide so you can see where you'll need to place the text. So you can see here that the word animated is not aligned with the grid, so I just moved it a few pixels to the left until it aligns to the grid. You'll need this later, so keep this step in mind. Right now I'm just making sure that no other letters are misaligned because that can happen sometimes. After that's done, you can just hide the grid guide layer, save and close it to go back. You should see that the word has been updated, and now you can just edit the crack patterns as you like by copying and pasting stuff and moving it around. Now if you want to change the colors, you'll see the layers called highlight top gradient, highlight base color, top gradient, base color, a fucking gigachad color if you ask me, and a bottom base color. You can edit these colors by double clicking them like so. For this one I wanted to try the color purple and click OK. It's also good to copy the hex code so you can just paste it later and make it lighter. Just do that for the rest of the colors and you're good to go for this one. After this, you'll want to save this by going to File, Export, and Export As. Now this will show up. You'll just want to go to the top that says Format and set it to PNG. You don't want to touch anything else, just keep it at default. Then just click Export and save whatever you want. After that's done, we can now proceed to the next one. For this one, it's still the same steps, so I'll just fast forward to when I change the colors. And boom. You can actually edit more than what I'm showing you right now, like this for example, but I won't be teaching you how to do that. You can do that on your own. The next one is the subtext. This one's a bit simpler, so you just need to change the text, the grid, and 2 colors. That's it. Okay, after you saved everything, the next step is importing them to Cinema 4D. Before that, I'll just explain how I did it shortly. So I added a cube as a placeholder, added Voronoi fracture, I added a plane effector so it moves up, I've set the fall off to linear and moved it left to right, matched the camera angle to the Minecraft logo, adjusted the easing for the plane effector, on how it moves down, I added a bit of overshoot so there's a little bit of bounce, I replaced it with a Minecraft font as a test, I added the matrix to cut it into blocks, and finally I added a randomizer to have it randomly rotated at the top and adjusted a few more stuff and boom, you now have a simple Minecraft logo animation. But we're not going for simple, we're going for that epic Minecraft logo. Now let's actually get started. So the first thing we'll need to do here is to replace the textures. You can do that by double clicking on one of these materials, going to color, clicking this, and replacing the texture there. Make sure that the sampling is set to off so you don't get any blurry textures. You'll also want to change the colors for the inside of the text by going here, clicking this, and changing these 2 colors here. You can choose how close the gradient is to each other. For me, I set it closer. After this, we'll be making our textures from 2D to 3D. So first, you'll need to get out of the camera by clicking this, delete all of these. Then let's make this folder visible by clicking the 2 dots. After that, you'll want to hide everything but the main text. You'll want to select the main front text and go in polygon mode. You can also use rectangle selection to make selecting easier. Now I'll just go to the front view, go to display and click constant shading. You should now see the textures even in front view. Earlier, I mentioned that aligning the text to the grid is important. The reason for that is we'll be selecting all the polygons here and delete them afterwards. Since this is a bit repetitive, I'll just skip to where I selected all the polygons. After selecting everything, you can now press U and then I to invert selection. We'll be deleting the black parts of the texture, except the creeper logo. After that, I'll just go to the 3D mode again, select the bottom part of the main text, then the usual select, invert selection, and then delete. Now here's a special case for the letter D. The right part of it is raised a bit, so we'll select that part of the polygon, right click, and then click disconnect. That should let us move it up a bit by setting the Y to 6. After that, we'll select the main front text again, control and drag it upwards to duplicate it. Select all polygons by pressing Ctrl A, press D to extrude, and write down 30. The text is 3D now, but you'll notice that the edges are a bit glitchy. We'll solve this by pressing U and then I to invert selection, then just drag and drop the sides texture to the selected parts. After that, you can go back to model mode, select both of the main front text, right click them and choose connect objects plus delete. It should now combine the two. Now it hasn't actually combined the polygons yet, so we'll need to go back to polygon mode, select all of the polygons, right click, then click optimize. Now the normals aren't oriented properly, so we'll need to right click again and hit align normals. So the next step is to delete the bottom part of the text by going to the front view mode again, and by using the rectangle selection, just select the bottom part of the text and delete them. And don't forget the tiny part of the letter D. Oh my god, why did I say that? But yeah, delete that as well. Now select both of the front and the bottom side of the text, right click, and then choose connect objects plus delete again. Now we'll need to select all of the polygons again, right click, and click optimize. Hey, you're almost done with the main text. You'll just need to drag it inside the Voronoi factor to have it animated. However, if you notice that something's not right here, it's because of the textures inside the text is wrong. To fix that, we'll just need to delete this texture tag, drag the inside material to the object, and you'll notice that it becomes just a gradient. Now let's go to polygon mode again, select all polygons, and then drag and drop the main texture into the object. That should assign the textures to the surface of the object only. I'll just move these tags to the left while keeping them in order. You can now go back to the camera view to know what it looks like. Now if you want to see how the animation looks, just hit play. Now if you want to adjust how the text is being cut into blocks, you first need to go to the Voronoi fracture settings and click colorize fragments. Now you'll see how it's being cut into pieces. Now you can go to matrix and adjust these settings. You can make the block smaller if you want, or just keep it as is and move it around. After you're done with the adjustment, just go back to the Voronoi fracture and just click colorize fragments again. For now, I'll just use the default settings for the matrix. Okay, you're done with the main text. Let's proceed to the bottom text by showing them. It's almost the same steps as the main text, but you'll be removing the top side of it rather than the bottom. Fast forward to where I deleted the polygons already. I duplicated and extruded it by 70. Invert selection and drag and drop the sides texture. Merge, optimize, and align. Since it's facing down, I'm going to the top view instead. Delete and merge. Optimize again, and boom. Once you're done with the bottom text, just drag and drop it into the second Voronoi fracture, show the main text again, and play. You'll notice that the bottom text is showing as a whole instead of by parts. We'll be cutting it into parts manually by selecting the bottom text, going into polygon mode, double clicking the letters you want to separate like so, right clicking it, pressing split, and deleting it. You should now see that it's split into 2 parts, but we'll want to separate into 4 parts by selecting XT and the word temp. Right now I'm just renaming them to make it easier to work on. There you go. You've made both the main text and the bottom text. The only thing left now is the subtext. Now this one's optional, but if you want to add it anyway, well, here's how you do it. Show the subtext object, go in polygon mode, and select all the polygons. Do the same process as you did last time, which is select, invert, delete, duplicate, extrude by 4 cm, invert, drag and drop the subtext sides material to the selected polygons, combine them, optimize, and align normals. After that, I just put it into the third Voronoi fracture. If you don't want the bottom text, then the subtext size should be good. But if you want to include the bottom text, you'll need to make it smaller. You can do that by clicking the subtext, going to coords, and changing the X and Y scale to 0.75. After that, we'll be adjusting the animation by separating it into parts. It's the same steps from last time. You'll just need to be in polygon mode, double click the letters you want to separate, right click and split, delete it, and do that for the rest of the words you want to separate. And there you go. The only thing we need to do now is to adjust it. Right now the main text isn't centered, and also the bottom text is way out of the main text. So we'll be squishing down the bottom text and centering the main text like so. And there we go. We've finished the animated Minecraft logo. The only thing left now is to export it. But before you hit the render button, you gotta delete the background first. You can do that by clicking here and then just delete. And we'll go to the render settings and tell Cinema 4D where to save the individual frames. After that, you'll want to make sure that the alpha channel is turned on, so you have a transparent background. And you're finished! Just hit the render button and boom! You've successfully made the Minecraft logo. Please hit like if you found this tutorial helpful. If you have any problems or questions, feel free to comment down below and I'll try to answer them as much as I can. And if you want more stuff like these, hit subscribe. Let's go for 1k subs. Oh yeah, tell me what you want to see from my channel, as this is my first time making a tutorial and I've totally underestimated how long making one takes. But yeah, I hope you find that useful and I'm out. Peace. Oh yeah, someone commented this and I'm like, why not? Here you go.